In this tutorial, I'll be giving you an introduction to tabs. A block is just an empty container until you begin adding tabs to it. They define how you will store your information. If I'm in the ice cream business, perhaps I want to track ice cream flavors, the people who taste my ice cream, and each tasting event that occurs in our quest for the most universally loved ice cream. So tabs, the fundamental structural component inside a block, just like a table in a database. Build the tab first, then build the fields that will be tracked on that specific tab. The actual pointing and clicking to build your tabs is the easy part of this exercise. Thinking through how you will structure things first so that you build the right tabs, that's where the magic happens. We're going to start at Plan, and then we'll review how to add and configure tabs. Then we'll look at modifying tabs, because let's face it, building will involve some level of iteration. Stuff will move around, no matter how well you plan, and that is one of the best parts of using GraceBlocks, your ability to continue extending and evolving. First up, Plan. Just like you can build a building without a blueprint, you can skip this step here too, but we wouldn't advise it. Think about what you want to track. What is all the information you need to manage? How does that information relate to one another? Write it down on paper or draw it on a whiteboard. Use cases are a good way to flesh out what you need to think through. Let's take our ice cream scenario. The problem we want to solve: what flavors are most universally loved? But we also want to know who tasted what flavors, who were my most active tasters. If we peel all that back, we have ice cream flavors, and we have the people who taste them. And every time someone tastes the ice cream, we'll call that a tasting. You might start and think, okay, I can just use one tab, and we'll put everything all in there. That will work technically, but there is an opportunity. If you break up the data, you can quickly and easily see how things relate to each other. That way, you'll be able to look at Amanda's record and see that she's done 5 tastings. And from the strawberry ice cream flavor, I can see that Amanda and Jesse are my tasters. You'll want to plan for which fields will go in which tab, and how you plan to pull data in from other tabs. As you learn more about fields and how they work and the capabilities you have at your fingertips, this planning process will get easier and easier. So that's Plan. Put it on paper, think through the tabs you want to create, and know it's okay if you need to make changes because you'll be able to modify later. Now let's configure our tabs. First, click to enter your block. Then, while inside your block, to add a new tab, I'll click the Add Tab option, which I only see as a builder. To style the tab, I'll enter a name, record name, and choose an icon. Pick what will best represent the purpose of the tab. The text you enter for name will appear as both the tab name and at the top of the page body section while viewing a list of records. For record name, use a word that reflects a single instance of the thing that you're tracking. For example, for the Flavors tab, I'll enter flavor to represent a singular flavor when we are looking at the information about one ice cream flavors record. Use the search bar just below the icon field label to identify relevant symbols or scroll through to find an icon you like. This icon will appear next to the name and record name throughout the tab. For now, leave the record identifier as is. It isn't until you do more work building out the tab, adding more fields, that the options for record identifier may become relevant. It's time to click Save. As you continue to use GraceBlocks, you will add more tabs and you may want to move things around and change things. All of that's quite possible. Let's take a look. One modification you can make as a builder is in the order in which the tabs appear for all users of the block. To move a tab, simply click the tab and choose the Actions dropdown, which is visible only to builders. Select either Move Tab Up or Move Tab Down and continue to do so until the tab is in the desired location. Also, by default, only the top 6 tabs display to users. The remaining tabs will be behind the Less and More option to help keep the page layout clean. To modify the tab's properties, select the tab and choose the Tab Action dropdown and select Edit Tab Properties. This brings up the same modal we worked with when creating the tab. One change that may be desired once you have data in your block is an update to the record identifier. One easy way to understand this is to look at a record details page. Whatever you specify for record identifier will be reflected in the large header of the details page for each record. Finally, I can delete a tab using the Delete Tab option from the Tabs Action dropdown. Click Delete Tab and confirm you wish to proceed. That's modifying tabs. And that's a wrap, our introduction to tabs, covering how to make your plan, configure, and modify tabs.